Here's the problem that I hope this tip will help with. When I was depressed, one of the most terrifying feelings was when I'd look in the mirror and think, there's not a single person who loves me. There isn't even a single person who would notice if I was gone. It's an irrational thought, but when you're in that moment, when you're in that place in your life, it's almost impossible to interrupt that intense conviction. When I was feeling true despair, even if I wanted to call someone, even if I wanted to reach out for help, I wouldn't have the brain power to brainstorm the people who I could reach out to. It's not a skill that any human being has. When you're feeling a wave of self-hatred, you're not going to be able to remember who loves you. They are two conflicting brain states, which is why you have to be prepared. As soon as you can, write a list of 5 people or resources who you could call when you're feeling hopeless. I know 5 is a lot, but aim for 5. I'll explain why in a bit. For me, I didn't have 5 people who I felt cared about me. So on my list was the suicide hotline, which I called many, many times, and also the hospital on my college campus. And I went there pretty often too, just to talk to someone on bad nights at like 4 a.m. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna divide that list of 5 people into 2 categories. Number 1, people who distract me, and number 2, people who soothe me. Some people are good at tearing you out of bed and forcing you to go clubbing with them and experiencing life with them. And some people are good at making you a cup of tea and getting you to cry into their t-shirt. Very rarely are people good at both. So to prevent the disappointment that I felt many times, it's good to know what you think you can get from each person ahead of time, so your reaching out can be productive for you. And it's also nice for the other person because it allows them to be a good friend in the ways that they know how. And that's why you need 5 people on this list. Once you make that list, and once you start using that list to force your brain out of the lie that nobody loves you, you're gonna see that you're gonna get better at that skill yourself. After a while using that list, I stopped needing it because it just became a habit. There were like 3 or 4 friends in particular who I'd reach out to and just be like, listen, I'm sleeping on your couch tonight. Don't ask me any questions. Just open the door when I get there. This technique saved my life many, many times, and I hope it helps you too, because you deserve to live a long and wonderful life. And the trick is to get you to remember that in those critical moments. As always, this is just what works for me, and different things work for different people. But if I had to give my former self a single piece of advice, that's what I would say. Best of luck, and remember that every day that you stay alive is a win.